Oh, game four is underway. First intermission. Now, going into this game, I'm going to be fully honest. I was thinking, this is where my brain was. I was saying, well, it's fun watching hockey in June. It is. It's nice, but it sucks that it's going to be over tonight. Um, that's genuinely kind of a bummer, and I'm not really happy about that part. But it is what it is. That's fine. The question I had was, are the Oilers going to go down fighting? And oh boy, has that question changed since watching the first period. Now let's go through with this, shall we? So, we get a few minutes in, not much has happened, and then Darnell Nurse ends up in the penalty box for a knee-on-knee hit that was called as tripping. Now, the reason I think it was called as tripping was because it looked unintentional, right? It looked almost as if he was running. He just ran into Sam Bennett. It just happened that it was a knee-on-knee hit. So that's why I think it was tripping versus a 5-minute major for a knee-on-knee hit. So that's that. However, we watch as Sam Bennett goes down the tunnel being assisted by two trainers. At least two trainers. There was probably a third one there. So will he be coming back at that point in the game? When that was called, no idea. No idea what was going on. But on the power play, some fun stuff has happened, eh? Not only did we get a goal, we got a shorthanded goal. So Connor Brown takes it in. It's a 2-on-1. Him and Janmark are there for the Oilers. Connor Brown holds onto the puck just long enough for Bobrovsky to bite. And then one of the Florida players actually trips. I don't know who it is, but he loses his edge. Or maybe not loses his edge. He probably went down to block the pass and runs into Bobrovsky, actually. And then Connor Brown sends it over to Janmark, and he just pots it. And that was a beautiful goal. And the Oilers are up 1-0, and it's early in the first. Like, we're talking like 3.5 minutes into the first. Like, it was nice. And then Florida, actually, a few minutes later, gets called for too many men on the ice. So there's power play for the Oilers. But as is with the majority of the power plays in this series so far, nothing happens. Again. I honestly want to be able to talk about more power play goals, but unfortunately it just seems like power play goals are just not going to be happening this series at all. Shorthanded goals, yes. Power play goals, I don't think so. I think we've had a total of one power play goal, maybe two, in the past 3 games in a period. But we've had 2 shorthanded goals. So that's interesting. Right? And then a few minutes later, after a whole bunch of nothing happens, let me say this play had my jaw on the floor watching this. Holy cow. Janmark sets up Henrique, who is just right in front of the net, and Henrique doesn't even do anything with it. He just kind of lets it bounce off of his stick, and it flies over Bobrovsky and isn't that. I was just shocked at watching that puck go in, and all of a sudden it's 2-0 for the Oilers, and I'm going, okay, maybe my original thoughts are a little different. Maybe I need to rethink how I'm feeling here about this game, right? And then 4 minutes after that, so that one was that goal took place just before the 8-minute mark. This next one is going to be taking place just before the 8-minute mark left in the period, so we're sitting at about 12 minutes. So 4 minutes later, a bunch of back and forth, right? It literally kept going back and forth. Forsling shoots it down. Tarasenko gets a beautiful tip in out front, and it's now just a 1-goal lead for Edmonton. And all of a sudden, we have 3 goals in the first 12 minutes of this game, where That is 3 goals in 12 minutes is the most amount of goals that has been scored in the first period in total across all 4 games so far. Like, you can just tell that both teams are hungry. Yes, for different reasons. Florida's really looking for their cup, and Edmonton is just trying to keep their season alive. But you can tell that both teams are hungry here, right? And now Sam Bennett is back on the ice at this point in the game, or at least the first I've noticed at this point. And we get a 2-on-1 with Sam Bennett and Carter Verhaeghe. Bennett sends one over to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe takes the shot, but Stuart Skinner, man. Ooh. Just slides across and robs Carter Verhaeghe. Absolutely robs him, stretching out, reaching his glove out, and just grabbing that puck and keeps the tying goal out of the net. The Oilers are hungry to keep their season alive. And then what felt like after about 20 icings, I'm not kidding, it just kept going icing, back and forth for each team, back to back, over and over again, back and forth. It was so annoying. All of a sudden, Draisaitl sends the puck over to Holloway. Holloway takes, I don't even know if it was a shot or if it was just a tip or if it whatever. I think it was a shot, actually. It was a shot. What am I saying? I remember this. It was a 2-on-1. Draisaitl sends it over to Holloway, and the puck just dribbles over top of Bobrovsky on his glove side. I think it was his left side. I think his glove side's his left side. Just dribbles over top of that side of his body, and it just bobbles itself in. And now it's 3-1 for the Oilers, and we're done the first period. Like that, I think there was 2 minutes left in the period. 2.5, 3 minutes left in the period when that goal went in. And all of a sudden, and we end the period with a 2-1 lead for the Oilers. And my question of, are the Oilers going to go down fighting, has now changed to, are the Panthers going to actually let this happen? Are the Panthers going to lose this game and not sweep the Oilers? It's become very, very interesting for me. I am very drawn into this game, and I cannot wait to watch the next 40 minutes to see exactly what happens. It's only a 2-goal lead, right? It's not like it's 7-1 or something. It is only 3-1. It's 2-goal difference. So there's still a lot that can happen in the rest of this game. So we're going to go watch the second period. We're going to see how it goes, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about it. So let us go. Okay. So, second period is over. Let's do a quick little talk, because this is gonna be fast. So, I'm gonna speed read all of my notes here. So, just over a minute into the second, and I'm sorry, but did that puck go in the net? Yes, it did. McDavid scores. I didn't even think that puck went in. I thought it bounced off Bobrovsky, but nope, it went in the net, and it's 4-1. And I don't know what Edmonton is doing all of a sudden, but that's not the Edmonton I recognize from the first 3 games. All right, and again, here we go. So the Oilers catch Florida doing a line change, and you get a 3-on-2. That's great. And now it's 5-1 all of a sudden, and I'm pretty sure the first goal was scored less than 2 minutes in, and it was just over a minute. It literally says right here in my notes, just over a minute. And this 3-on-2 happened probably, I'm pretty sure, 2 or 3 minutes later. Okay. And so it's 5-1. And there you go. Oh, but here's a fun thing that happened. Bobrovsky all of a sudden is no longer in net. Anthony Stolarz comes in. What backwards universe is this? Where, I'm sorry, I don't know what hockey game I'm watching right now, but this is nuts. Oh yeah, and shout out to the PWHL. Sarah Nurse is in Edmonton, apparently. Supporting her cousin, Darnell Nurse, who just happened to score that 5-1 goal. Yeah, so that's fun. I honestly have run out of stuff to like think about that I'm just throwing random facts in now. Because yeah. Oh, okay, and then you go a little bit longer, and then Florida goes on the penalty. Edmonton gets a power play, and of course, nothing's gonna happen because it's a power play, and nobody scores on a power play. So yeah, that's the thing, obviously. But then I literally wrote in my notes here. It says, "All right, we have a thing to talk about." We do. So I don't know exactly who it was that took the shot, but somebody takes a shot on net, and Stolarz gets the save. Cool, that's great. But then the whistle doesn't blow because the puck is still loose. And so Hyman goes in and starts and, pokes at the puck that's in the open. Not fully in the open, it's in between Anthony Stolarz' legs, but his pads are open. So it's not like Hyman is hacking at Stolarz' legs. Like, he's just kind of trying to free that puck that is readily available there. And so that, yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me again. All right, so that happens. Obviously, Florida doesn't like it. They are down 5-1 at this point, and so they're going to fight back. They're going to play with some stink. And so they do. And there's a little bit of pushing, there's a little bit of shoving, a whole bunch of stuff happens. Like, there's just you get a decent scrum going on. Like, I honestly thought that somebody was going to drop the gloves. I did. I thought we were going to get a full-on fight, but we didn't, surprisingly. Yep. And so we actually end up with some penalties on the play, but it comes out as a 5-on-3 for the Oilers. And then finally, we have a power play goal. Of course, it's on a 5-on-3, though, so that is annoying as ever that it's just on a 5-on-3 instead of an actual power play, but whatever. And they're up 6-1. Who scored that goal? Honestly, who cares? I'm pretty sure it was Zach Hyman, but like at this point, who cares exactly? The Oilers are up 6-1. Like, I just want to take a couple minutes here to talk about this, but like, why is it that Edmonton in game 4 all of a sudden decided that now was the time to start playing hockey? Like, seriously, you look at the first couple games and you're like, okay, it's okay. They're not playing terribly. They're playing okay. Same with the third game. It's like, yeah, they're not playing poorly. Everybody's playing decently well. It's goaltending. Goaltending is the biggest difference between the two teams. And then you get to game 4 and all of a sudden it's like all of the skaters on Edmonton have just decided that they were playing on easy mode for the first 3 games, and now it's time to start trying all of a sudden. And it's like, what? When did that all of a sudden happen? I don't know. Either Edmonton has found something that's worked, or Florida is just scrambling all of a sudden. I genuinely don't know what's going on. I genuinely don't know why Game 4 is having such a big difference compared to the first 3 games. Like, again, like after going into the first period, going into the start of this game, I was like, yeah, it's been nice being able to watch hockey, but tonight's it. That's it. We're done. But now we're through 2, and I'm going, we're gonna have another game to play on Tuesday. And then I go, oh, I'm not gonna be able to watch the whole game on Tuesday because I have to work until like 10. I'm only gonna get to watch like maybe the second half of the second period, or even maybe only the third period. Oh, that sucks. That's a bummer. But still, like, I was not expecting to be watching a game on Tuesday. But as it looks now, unless Edmonton blows a 5-goal lead in the last 20 minutes of this third period, then like game's over. Edmonton won. We're going back to Florida for game 5. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I guess. I mean, let's go watch the last 20 minutes of this hockey game. And I mean, I'll come back after the third period. As of right now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to sit down and say, game's over. It's a 3-1 series. We're going back to Florida. I'm pretty sure it's literally going to be like a 1-2 minute recap of the period because I don't think much is going to happen. Maybe some penalties, maybe a goal or two, but I think the decision at this point is final. Edmonton's going to win this game. That's what it looks like. All right, let's go watch these last 20 minutes. Here we go. I don't even know what to think right now. This is nuts. Oh, brother. Well, it would help if I sat in my chair properly. I mean, so as of recording this little section here, the game's not actually over yet. Again, we're in a spot kind of like I did with game 2. Yeah, game 2, where the score was just so one-sided that I was so confident that it just, I don't think that there's anything that Florida can do at this point to come back in this game. Like so I have the game still going here on my phone. Um Rogers Place is going absolutely berserk. There's 3 minutes and 1 second left. The score is currently 8-1 for Edmonton, and Edmonton has a power play. Like, I I mean, obviously, I don't think that Edmonton's going to score on this power play. But I mean, I've got this game still going right in front of me here. But I just want to we're not even really going to talk about the third period. Obviously, there were 2 goals by Edmonton. I'm pretty sure, other than this one penalty here, I'm pretty sure there were 3 others in this period. But like, again, it doesn't matter at this point. This third period just hasn't felt like it's mattered. Like, Edmonton is ahead. They're up 6-1 at the start of the period. And then it just didn't feel like... Now, okay, don't get me wrong when I say this, but like, it didn't feel like Florida was fighting back. It genuinely didn't feel like Florida was fighting back. It felt like Florida was just trying to get the game over with so they could get back home and play game 5. Honestly, that's kind of just what it feels like. Yeah, I mean, they had their chances. They had the decent looks, but I mean, Skinner's been playing really, really well this game. Like, the fact that they were able to chase Bobrovsky out of the net in this clinching game to win it all is huge in and of itself. That is definitely a huge confidence booster for the Oilers for sure. This game will be huge for them. Do I think that this is going to shift the series in any specific direction or change the outcome of this series? No, I still think that Florida is going to take it. What I do think is going to change, however, is who is going to be winning the Conn Smythe Trophy. There's been a lot of discussions about whether Bobrovsky should be getting the Conn Smythe or if Barkov should be getting the Conn Smythe. Now, personally, I am not that deep into the analytics of all of the hockey stats and everything like that. Like, yeah, I pay a decent amount of attention, but nothing like that. Nothing that deep or anything. So, is the Conn Smythe going to change? I have no idea. The discussion of it being around Bobrovsky and Barkov, do I think that that's a fair look at who of two potential players that could win it? Yes, I do. But I think somebody said it really, really well recently, where if the Edmonton Oilers are able to get an absolute blowout of a game, then that will shift the conversation of the Conn Smythe more towards Barkov than Bobrovsky. And I'm sorry, but like, I don't know. I can't tell how close I'm getting to the screen here, but an 8-1 win, I'm pretty sure that is considered a blowout. Now, do I think that in all reality that's going to change anything? Again, no, I don't. I don't think that an 8-1 blowout in Game 4 is going to change the fact that I still think that Florida's going to win the Stanley Cup. I did say that I think Florida's going to take it in 6. I'm more leaning towards the fact that they had a blowout here. Oh, interesting. That's a nice statistic right there. The Oilers star, Connor McDavid, has passed Wayne Gretzky for most assists in a single postseason. Interesting. I do but again, like I was saying, I think that the conversation should be shifted away from Panthers in 6 and more towards Panthers in 5. I think that this game was the Oilers fighting for their lives. Obviously it was. The next game is going to be as well, but the Florida is going to be at home. So, I mean, honestly, I think if Florida loses Game 5, they're going to win Game 7. They're not going to, if they lose Game 5, they're also going to lose Game 6, but they're going to win Game 7. They're going to win the Stanley Cup at home. That would be a beautiful thing to happen, but I can't guarantee anything. That's just what I would like. If they're good, I think they're going to win the Stanley Cup at home. If they don't win it at home, then if they get to Game 7, then it's anybody's ball game at that point. I guess hockey game, but still. Yeah. So, I said this at the end of the second period, but I won't be able to watch all of the Game 5. I will be able to watch maybe the second half of the game, so I will do my best to keep myself caught up so I can record some kind of a recap video, but again, I won't be able to watch all of it. I will do my best. So until that time comes, thank you for watching this one. It has officially become a series. It's not a sweep. We're going to Game 5 back in Florida on Tuesday. Who's going to take the Stanley Cup? Who's going to take it at this point? We'll find out then.